Welcome. In this video, we will walk through MAST progress reports to help you understand how to use them to support student learning throughout the year. First, let's go through the purpose of progress reports. Progress reports provide a snapshot of cumulative student performance to date. This performance is based on tests that's completed so far into the school year. It is designed to support instructional decision-making, not predict end-of-year results. They're also designed to help identify students at high, moderate, or low risk of meeting proficiency by the end of the year. Progress reports are designed to answer the question, based on evidence so far, who is clearly on track, who may need support, and who needs close attention. Progress reports are part of the suite of reports that are available under the MAST testing system. Student and classroom testlet level reports, which report on individual testlet performance, are available weekly throughout each testing window, the week after students take the testlet. School testlet reports are available after each window, and district testlet reports are available after the last window of testing. Progress reports are available after the culmination of windows 1 and 2 and available at the student, classroom, school, and district level. Through-year reports, also known as summative reports, take all the information from administrations across the year to determine a final achievement level for each student, and those are available at the student, classroom, school, and district level. Now, let's get back to progress reports. Before we hop into the details, let's clarify what progress reports are and are not. Progress reports are an early indicator of progress towards grade level proficiency. They are also a summary of performance across the completed testlets up to that point. They are one data point to be used alongside other classroom evidence. They are not a final or a predictive score or a replacement for teacher judgment or classroom data. They really provide a signal of where a student is along their learning journey for the school year. Taking a closer look at progress reports, each progress report has a few key components: achievement to date, progress over time, and testlet performance. Now let's take a look at a progress report, starting with a student level report after window 1. Starting at the top, achievement to date is a summary of a student's cumulative achievement range based on all the testlets completed so far in the school year. It shows where the student's performance currently falls on the MAST achievement scale. You will notice that this range could span multiple achievement levels. Moving down the page, next comes progress. This is a summary of how the student's cumulative performance changes over time as additional testlets are completed. For window 1, this is going to report very similar information to the achievement to date. But when we look at a window 2 report, it will give you some additional information to compare window 1 to window 2 progress. And finally, the report includes testlet performance. This is a detailed summary of how the student performed on each individual testlet completed so far. Each testlet is scored using 3 performance levels, level 1, level 2, and level 3, that shows how closely the student's results align with grade level expectations for proficiency. These are the same results that are reported on the individual testlet level score reports. Looking at a window 2 progress report, you will see very similar information. Achievement to date will provide a summary of the student's cumulative achievement range based on all testlets completed, including window 1 and window 2. You will notice that the progress section now has 2 pieces of information. It shows the progress that was reported for window 1 and progress for window 2, which includes all testlets completed for window 1 and window 2. And then you will see under the testlet performance the additional testlets that were taken between window 1 and window 2, a full record of the testing up to that point. Before we move into how to use progress reports, it's really important to understand progress levels. Progress levels are based on where achievement range falls relative to the proficiency cut score used for achievement determinations at the end of the year. MAST uses 3 progress levels: below proficiency, near proficiency, and meets or exceeds proficiency. As we talked about at the beginning of the video, this is really providing a signal of which students need additional support to be able to reach grade level proficiency by the end of the year. Looking at below proficiency, these students are at high risk of not meeting proficiency requirements. When we look at where these students are scoring, their estimated cumulative achievement range falls entirely below the score required for proficiency. As we look at those 2 examples for how these students can score, these can be students where the achievement range is completely in the novice range, as we see with that student on the top, or it can be a student whose cumulative achievement range is including both the novice range and the partially proficient range. As long as that student's range is completely below the proficient range, that student will be in the below proficiency progress level. Now let's look at the near proficiency progress level. Students in this level have a moderate risk of not meeting proficiency requirements. The estimated cumulative achievement range for students at this level does include the proficiency score cut. Students in this level could be likely proficient based on the completed testlets. Looking at the top example, this student has a cumulative achievement range that goes from the high end of the novice range to the low end of the proficient range. Because that estimated cumulative achievement range is within the proficient range, they are categorized as near proficient. The bottom example shows that a student that has a much higher cumulative achievement range, but is still being categorized as near proficiency because part of the estimated cumulative achievement range is within the area of the proficiency cut. And finally, meets or exceeds proficiency are students at low risk of not meeting proficiency requirements. The estimated cumulative achievement range is falling completely above the score required for proficiency. As you can see from both examples, the entire estimated cumulative achievement range is above the cut for proficiency, or the entire cumulative achievement range is in the green or the blue sections. Now let's look at how to use progress reports. At the student level, progress report data can be used to identify students at high or moderate risk of not meeting proficiency, to pinpoint specific strengths and learning gaps using the testlet results that are provided, monitor how individual performance changes across windows, support targeted interventions or enrichment, and inform student, teacher, and family conversations about current progress. Progress reports can also be distributed to families in lieu of individual testlet level reports after each window. Now let's look at a classroom level progress report. First, the progress summary is a distribution of student progress based on an estimated range of performance. The student score ranges are classified as below proficiency, near proficiency, or meets or exceeds proficiency. This is going to include all students who are rostered to that teacher. Next, student progress. This is our overview of each student's confidence range and estimated achievement level. Progress reports at the classroom level also include testlet performance. This is a summary of the breakdown of how students in the class performed on each individual testlet. Each testlet shows a performance breakdown by level. ELA also includes performance tasks after window 2. Classroom level progress reports can be used to identify patterns of understanding or needed clarification across students, can be used to group students flexibly for targeted instruction. They can also be used to adjust pacing and instructional focus based on the assessed content, monitor the impact of instructional changes over time, and can be combined with classroom evidence to refine daily instruction. Classroom information is aggregated to school-level progress reports. Once again, that progress summary is a distribution of student achievement to date based on an estimated range of performance. You will also notice that the distribution for Montana and the district in which the school resides is also available. The progress report also includes classroom progress, an overview of each classroom's distribution of student achievement to date based on their estimated range of performance, and once again, that testlet performance, a summary breakdown of how the school performed on each individual testlet to date. Each testlet shows the performance breakdown by level. School level progress reports can be used to identify grade level or course level trends and areas of need, prioritize instructional supports and professional learning, monitor progress of student groups across reporting windows, support collaborative conversations in PLC or data team meetings, and ensure consistent understanding of progress levels and appropriate use. And finally, district-level progress reports will aggregate all information up from the student, classroom, and school level. The progress summary is now going to give you the distribution of student achievement to date for all students within the district, within that grade level, based on the estimated range of performance. It's going to give the school progress, an overview of each school's distribution of student achievement to date, based on the estimated range of performance. And finally, the testlet performance, a summary breakdown of how the district performed on each individual testlet to date. Each testlet shows the performance breakdown by level. District progress reports can be used to monitor system-wide trends in student progress across schools, identify areas where additional guidance or resources may be needed, support alignment between curriculum, instruction, and assessment, inform planning for professional learning and implementation supports, and communicate progress transparently while reinforcing appropriate interpretation. Some frequently asked questions that have come up around progress reports start with, why do I have students that tested but don't have progress reported? Students must take at least 3 math testlets or 2 ELA testlets to generate a progress level. If students have not taken those, they will receive a progress report but will not have progress levels, only a summary of testlet level performance to date. Is a progress report a prediction of end-of-year achievement? No. Progress reports are not predictive. They reflect what the student has demonstrated on the content assessed so far. As more testlets are completed, the information becomes more precise. Why is achievement reported as a range? The achievement range shows where a student's current performance likely falls on the MAST scale. The range reflects measurement uncertainty, which is expected when only part of the full assessment has been completed. The range narrows as more testlets are completed. Another question is the difference between nearing proficient and how that is different from near proficiency. Near proficiency is an official MAST progress report level used during the school year. A student is classified as near proficiency when their cumulative achievement range from completed testlets include the proficiency cut score. This indicates a moderate risk of not meeting proficiency based on evidence available so far. It reflects current progress, not a final result. Nearing proficiency is sometimes used informally to describe students who, on the through year or summative report, fall into the partially proficient achievement level. This designation is based on the final summative scale score after all required testlets are completed. It indicates that the student has partially met grade level expectations but still needs support. And finally, why is the meets or exceeds proficiency percentage on progress reports lower than the final end-of-year proficiency rate? Progress reports are based on incomplete testing and achievement ranges, while end-of-year results are based on final summative scores. To be counted as meets or exceeds proficiency on a progress report, a student's entire range must be above the cut score. Many students who ultimately become proficient still have ranges that overlap the proficiency cut score earlier in the year. Progress reports reflect only the standards assessed so far. Students have more opportunities to demonstrate proficiency later in the year. Fewer testlets result in wider ranges, which are more likely to overlap proficiency. And finally, end-of-year proficiency is based on a single summative scale score after all testing is complete. Some key takeaways about progress reports. Progress reports provide early, actionable information. Progress reports describe current risk, not final outcomes. Precision will increase as more testlets are completed, and the goal is ultimately supporting learning throughout the year, acting as a signal, not a final determination. Additional resources are available in the MAST portal, including a document explaining progress levels and interpretive guides at the student, classroom, school, and district levels. For any questions, please reach out to the OPI Assessment Help Desk.